Hello, everyone. Welcome to another award-winning edition of the Locker Room Chat. My name is John Williams. I'm joined by my co-host, Walter Stair. And Walter, thank you for being here.
Glad to be here. I noticed when I was out mowing, there was a certain breeze. It's a September breeze. I mean, it's at times getting a little bit cooler.
Yeah, I noticed that today as well. The seasons are changing, and fall's coming up here pretty soon, sometime this month, but just a few weeks away from that, I believe, and the dreaded falling back on the daylight savings time.
Exactly, losing some sleep. But I don't know if I like that or not. But actually, September is generally my favorite month, except for my February, which is my anniversary. But as far as an actual month, the entire month of September, I like.
Yeah, fall's a nice time. We got football, and tonight in studio we have the Rockwood Tigers. We have two members of Coach John Webb's team, and right now I'd like to go ahead and let them introduce themselves. We have with us Landon Watts and Gerald Pudge Hannibal. So guys, if you would, just go ahead and introduce yourself, tell everyone your name, what position you play, and what class you're in.
Landon Watts, and play quarterback and strong safety, and I'm in 12th grade.
My name is Gerald Hannibal. I play fullback, linebacker, and I'm the class of 22, my bad.
And we got two seniors here of Rockwood, and they're off to a 2-1 start on the season and have a very big game here Friday night, Walter.
They certainly do against Kingston, and that's a crosstown rival, and they always go hard at it.
Mm-hmm. And is the OEB, I can't talk tonight. It's OEB Law Game of the Week. As you see there, Rockwood at Kingston. They're at Nat Sugarman Field, and Kingston coming in 3-0. And Rockwood, as I mentioned, 2-1. Rockwood started the season defeating Oliver Springs 42-9. Lost to Sweetwater, and then defeated Cloudland last week 36-6.
I thought that was a big win. Actually, I picked against Rockwood on that game, and they sort of put it back in my face. So.
Good
job, guys.
Guys, Walter picked against y'all last week.
You all did well. I was glad for it.
Thank you.
But as I mentioned, it's the OEB Law Game of the Week. But guys, if you would, let's talk about that. Landon, we'll start with you. Talk about that trip to Cloudland up to Roan Mountain. Had you ever been there before?
No, I haven't ever been there. It was pretty long.
How long did it take to get there?
2 hours and 30 minutes, I think.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
2.5 hour trip, and I've never been there myself, but I heard it's up on a mountain.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Gerald? How was that trip?
I mean, the trip was pretty rough for me, to be honest, but that's about it.
It's probably better coming home, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
After a big victory over Cloudland. I think last year, Rockwood and Cloudland, that was a COVID game. I think Cloudland had COVID, so
Okay.
could not play Rockwood. But no, excuse me, maybe another way around, because y'all had to go to Cloudland this year. So, but yeah, Cloudland come in ranked in the state in Class A, and y'all put a good beating on them. If you would, Landon, talk about that game against Cloudland.
We did pretty good. We had a lot of penalties, stupid penalties, and we just came out and was hitting them and smacking them in the mouth from the get-go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw where you had a touchdown pass.
Yes. That was Dakota Waldo.
Mm-hmm. And Gerald, I saw where you scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
Y'all pretty much took care of business early, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sir.
So y'all had like 285 yards rushing, so you did most of the damage on the ground.
Yes, sir.
Walter?
How long have you guys played football? Since you were young, or have you just played since you were in middle school? Or
I started playing when I was like 8.
oh, okay, so quite a while.
I've been playing since I was 4.
My goodness, that's something else. And what's it like to be a Tiger? The tradition, I guess. Y'all have won quite a few football games. You're very much known as a football school.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty cool to be a Tiger. I like it.
I think being a Tiger is like a blessing, to be honest. Like, it just feels good to be a Tiger.
Now, Gerald, your brother played for Rockwood. Jaden Hannibal, right?
Yeah, that's him.
He's pretty quick, wasn't
Oh, yeah, for sure.
he? So kept up with Rockwood over the last few years since we've been doing the show, and his brother was
Get it from me, though.
really an outstanding athlete, and Rockwood has a lot of good athletes there. Dakota Webb, Dryston Turner, I think Nehemiah Story is a big offensive lineman
Oh, okay.
there for Rockwood. He was on the show here a few years ago, so they were coached by head coach John Webb, and I think it's he's been there 26 years, or this could be his 27th year, somewhere around there, but he's been coaching at Rockwood, head coach, for a long time.
Well, that means a great tradition, and I know, you all play Harriman and Kingston, and those are always big games all the way around. Of course, Kingston, the one you're coming up to on Friday, but those are two that come to mind always to me. You all are always playing those two.
Who would you say your biggest rival is?
Probably Harriman.
I'm going to go Harriman.
Harriman. Right. I know it's the state's oldest rivalry. It's over 100 years old, and I know Harriman just right up the road from Rockwood. Kingston just on up a little bit further there, up across the bridge. But phone lines are open. You have a question or comment for these young men, these Rockwood Tigers. Also, have a question or comment for Walter and I. So we'd be glad to take it. We're on to 9:30 tonight. It's the football edition, all season long, from 8 o'clock to 9:30. So we'd appreciate the call if you want to call in. If you have any things you'd like to talk about, maybe from last week or this coming week.
I know a few surprises locally, some different teams. I know it seems like to me, and we'll get back to them in a second, but it seems like Gibbs and also Bearden and Sweetwater are three teams that are sort of doing better than a lot of folks thought.
Right. Certainly are. I think Gibbs off 2-1 start, Bearden as well. And Sweetwater, I think, is undefeated. And these guys here played Sweetwater. Landon, if you would talk about that Sweetwater game. I know last year it was a really close game. Y'all had a big lead and they came back and won that against y'all, but they defeated y'all in week 2. If you would, just go ahead and talk about that Sweetwater game, if you learned anything from that.
Well, they was better than I thought they were going to be, that's for sure. And their linemen, their defense is it's pretty good. Mm-hmm. Their linemen, we couldn't block their linemen.
Yeah, I believe
we couldn't run the ball.
I think y'all didn't score in the game, and I'm sure y'all were disappointed in that outcome, but
yeah,
came back last week and beat Cloudland. Is a good win. Gerald, what was your comment on the Sweetwater loss?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't like talking about that game.
Uh-huh.
It was rough.
Was that was a home game, right?
Yes, sir.
Y'all were probably surprised at that outcome.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And Walter, any other surprises last week? Anything surprise you?
Well, I thought Clinton actually played pretty good after the first quarter. I know they really got into it in the second quarter and made it a football game, and I was glad to see that, but sorry to see them lose once again to Oak Ridge, but was a very competitive football game, and one that I hope they'll learn from and get ready for this Friday.
You're right. You have to. Oak Ridge Wildcats come away with the win over the Dragons last week, 21-14. I thought Clinton, showed a lot of fight, a lot of heart. Got down early,
yeah.
Came back, and tied it up there in the fourth quarter. I thought they was going to go ahead and win the game, but Oak Ridge came right back and drove down, scored the winning touchdown.
I know Clinton really bared down in the second quarter, and actually Oak Ridge didn't get a first down in the second quarter, which I thought was quite impressive. And Clinton and Oak Ridge played a stalemate pretty much in the third quarter, and then Oak Ridge unfortunately pulled away to the touchdown after the Dragons tied it. But it's one of those things.
Right, it was a great game. Really great atmosphere, big crowd. Both schools brought out a lot of fans, and it was just a great night for high school football. Even had some rain showers mixed in there, and but I guess the big question for that game, a lot of people, all they wanted to talk about was the spot of the fourth down attempt the Dragons had.
That's what I even heard, and I know the gentleman we know quite well, the play-by-play man for Oak Ridge, he even said he didn't understand it and sort of shook his head about it. He even made the comment on media, I guess it was on Facebook. He said that he didn't understand where they actually marked the ball.
Mm-hmm. Well, I couldn't really tell. I don't think any Clinton fan could tell, because it happened right on the sideline, right in front of the team bench, and I couldn't see it. I don't say anybody could. I did see the replay from across the field on the BBB, on the OEB Law game of the week last week. They had a replay. I watched it several times. And the runner, for Clinton runner, Chauncey Phelps, and he flipped, when he got tackled, and he flipped, and you sort of lost, even on the replay, you sort of lost the ball carrier. For me, I couldn't see where he landed. And, the line judge was right there, so I'm not going to criticize an official, but I don't see, it was tough to see from that vantage point, in my opinion. Of course, I don't think that call did not beat Clinton. There's a lot of things happen in that game that you have to credit Oak Ridge to get the win, but it was a big call there, and it just came up just inches short, and it's a game of inches, football is, and it's just sort of just the way it goes sometimes.
Oh, that's true.
We got a call. Let's go ahead and take it. Got to get our earbuds in here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we must have lost them.
Oh, okay.
But right now we're going to go ahead and take our first break of the night, and we'll be right back to speak with Landon Watts and Gerald Hannibal, two members of the Rockwood Tigers. We'll visit with them some more, so stick around. We'll be right back. You're watching the Locker Room Chat.
Football is back, and OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense. Call OEB Law and turn your wreck into a check.
At Earl F. Subaru, we're more than a car dealer. We're a Subaru retailer and Tennessee's only 11-time winner of the Subaru Love Promise Award. We're proud to be active in supporting our community and have fostered partnerships with local charities such as CASA of the Tennessee Valley and the Roane County Animal Shelter. We're also committed to our customers, and our state-of-the-art facility in Kingston features expanded service capacity to provide the quality automotive care that you deserve.
2022 Subaru Outback models are available now at Earl Duff Subaru in Kingston or on the web at duffsubaru.com.
I'm Amanda, one of the RN shift leaders at Roane Medical Center. I love the sense of community that we have here. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced, and that's why I choose Roane Medical Center.
I choose Roane Medical Center because this is where my heart is. My family and friends use Roane Medical Center, and I want everyone that comes through our doors to have an experience that makes them as proud of Roane Medical Center as I am.
Find out why Roane Medical Center is the best choice for your future in healthcare. Learn more at roanemedicalcenter.com.
There's a lot of talk about the risks associated with the COVID-19 vaccine, but the reality is, it's safer than being tackled by a Tennessee Titan. Give it a shot. Find a free vaccine appointment today at covid19.tn.gov.
We treat you like family at RMG. Bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We'll buy it on the spot and we'll pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. We treat you like family.
Roane Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Herman and Rockwood.
Football is back, and OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense. Call OEB Law and turn your wreck into a check.
Welcome back into the locker room chat, and on the screen just then you saw the Rockwood at Kingston OEB Law game of the week. Kicks off on Friday night at 7:30 in Kingston, and man, that's going to be that's a good game right there, Walter. I know Kingston last week, they got a last-second field goal, a 41-yard field goal from Connor Littlefield.
That's a stout field goal for a high school.
I believe that's correct. Connor Littlefield kicked a 41-yard field goal at the buzzer to beat Chattanooga Brainerd 17-14. I think the Yellow Jackets got down early in that game, come back to win.
That's a good win for them all the way around. I mean, they needed that to stay unbeaten. So,
right. Coach Brian Pankey got his Yellow Jackets at 3-0, and they'll be taking on the Rockwood Tigers. It's a non-region game, but it's a pretty good matchup, I feel. Kingston has won the last 8 in the series.
Oh my goodness.
So the Tigers will be looking for a win right there, and let's get Landon Watts, quarterback of the Rockwood Tigers. What's your thoughts on the Kingston game Friday night?
Well, I know we're going to have to play hard. We're going to have to come out and do what we do. We're going to have to not give up. We're going to have to hit them. They're fast in the backfield. We're going to have to stop them. So,
Do you know some of those guys? You friends with some of their players?
Yeah, I know some of them.
What about you, Gerald? What's your thoughts on the Kingston Yellow Jackets Friday night?
I think we're going to have to come out and just punch them in the mouth and just keep on going, keep pounding the ball.
I look for probably a physical game. Is that what you're expecting?
Oh, yeah.
Both teams like to run the ball.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know Kingston, I think, had over 200 yards rushing, and that went over Brainerd, and y'all had about 285, so it's going to be an old-school type game, you think?
Yes, sir.
Do you know some of those players from Kingston?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We'll be back to talk to these fellas just in a little bit here, but let's talk about the Big Orange, Walter. You got your orange on.
You better believe it.
You wear that orange about every week, so I love seeing that when you come in. And Tennessee, Josh Heupel, 59-10 Tennessee last week over Ball State and took care of business early. And different animal this week, going to Pittsburgh to play the Panthers. It's Johnny Major's week, and this is the first game. Tennessee is coming in ranked number 24, and the first game for Josh Heupel leading the Vols as a ranked team. So right here, you see the Associated Press poll top 25, and what's your thoughts on the Tennessee game?
Well, I think it was a business type win. The first one, Tennessee against Ball State, they did what they needed to, and it was essentially flawless, winning 59-10, good overall defense, and they did what they needed to do to put it away early. And what I liked is the fact that they got Hooker out of the lineup very early in the second half, got him in to get it going, get a touchdown, and go sit down, where they would have him against Pittsburgh, which is going to be a lot harder foe. And then, of course, the fourth game, which will be Florida. Florida's a lot better than I thought they were. They scare me to death with the quarterback they have. Not to go past Pittsburgh yet, but Florida really scared me in what they did to Utah. And Pittsburgh actually looked pretty good against West Virginia and was lucky to win, that game. But I don't know. I think this is going to be a good game for Tennessee. This game and Florida are going to be truly crucial to how the season will pan out. I think Akron is a give me. If not, everybody just ought to go home and cry if they can't beat Akron. But
yeah, certainly it's big games in Pittsburgh this Saturday, 3:30 kickoff, and it's a game I thought last year that Tennessee felt like they should have won, jumped out to an early lead, and Pitt came back at a strong second quarter. They were led by Kenny Pickett, All-American quarterback there at Pittsburgh, now with the Steelers. And, Hendon Hooker, he did not start that game.
Right.
And they brought him in and almost led the Vols to a victory. But he'll be starting come Saturday. And, Tennessee opened up as a 3-point favorite, and the odds maker, it's gone up to 6 now. The money's been bet on the Vols.
I'm actually a little bit surprised of that, but I really thought we should have won last year, and I hope it pans out that we win this year. Not to take anything away from Pittsburgh, but I guess we didn't have Hooker in that solid number one quarterback position, and Milton was just too excited. I think Milton is starting to play a little bit better, not throwing the ball as hard and off target, and I think both of them will do good this year.
Right, Milton played well when he came in, and I was hoping to see the Trayvon Jackson. I think the freshman, I don't think he got in.
No.
But I was hoping to see him play, but did not see him, freshman quarterback. But West Virginia, that was a game that you mentioned that probably should have won. Looked like they was going to win, and but they didn't. And I'm hoping that took a lot out of Pittsburgh, because that's a big rivalry. It's called the backyard brawl, West Virginia and Pittsburgh, and surely they had to take a lot out of Pitt Panthers, and I'm hoping, it's tough to get up for 2 weeks in a row. And you got a Tennessee team come in on cruise control last week, and I'm sure they're looking ahead to get some revenge against the Panthers.
That's what I've always wanted for Tennessee, to, when they need to take care of business at Ball State and Akron, get 40 points, essentially have the first teamers go to the showers, and everything's wonderful from there on.
But also in that top 25 poll, you had Georgia really impressive over Oregon. Wow, it's 49-3.
That was something else. I looked at that, and I had seen some people on Facebook before that game saying that Oregon was going to win, and I just put on there, I don't think so. And that's all I said. But and that was before the game, a few days before the game. And I know everybody, goes rah-rah for their team, but Georgia is tough.
Riley looked to be the real deal once again. They lost about 15 players to the pros, but they've been recruiting well there with Kirby Smart, and sort of like Alabama and Georgia and Bama look like maybe the top two teams.